Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we will understand everything about pure components in React.js. We will see how it helps in performance optimization and what is shallow comparison in pure components. So if this sounds interesting, then stick around. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. So let's get started. Alright guys, if you are looking for a full-time job opportunity for you, then I have an exciting news from Relevel by Unacademy. It is India's first platform to help all aspirants have access to their dream job. By taking the Relevel test, they engage in comprehensive skill assessment, which industry evaluates relevant skills and their job readiness. If you wish to showcase your skill to the best companies in India like Cred, Grow, Upgrade, Misho, and many more, then what you can do is you can take part for the re-level test for free on the platform based on your skills and time. And if you pass the re-level test, they guarantee minimum package of 4 lakhs per annum for non-tech roles and 6 lakhs per annum for tech roles. People are getting packages up to 15 lakhs per annum as well. There is no age or experience limit for the eligibility. If you are 18 plus or 40 years of age, you can attempt the re-level test to get 50% plus hike for your next job in the best product based companies. New companies like Paytm, Yatra, and Misho has been added to the platform. Relevel has changing lives for months now. Find all the people who took the best decision of their lives with Relevel through their platform with the Relevel Achievers Twitter handle. Let's see how we can register for the test. So we will go to the Relevel platform and just click on the Get Hired. Now, based on the skills, we will select the test. I will select front-end development test. We can see the details and then we can select the slot based on our availability. And then we just need to upload our video resume. That's all. Sit back, take the test, and companies will reach out to you based on your score. You will find all the links related to the re-level in the description of the video. All right, guys, so I have already bootstrapped my React application and let me give you a quick walkthrough of it. So if we go to our source folder, then we have the app.js and I have created a components folder which contains two more components, a user count component and a users component. So let's go to the app.js first. So inside the app.js, I have taken a state variable of flag, which is a boolean. And based on this boolean flag, I actually display a message. So I have created a button which actually toggles the value of the boolean. And then based on the value of boolean, we display the message, either it's a morning or it's an afternoon. And for the user count component, let's go to the user count. And in the user count component, I have created a state variable, which is a user count. And I have assigned a value of 10. So we simply displaying the value of the user count in our JSX. So here is the JSX where we display the user count. Now let's go to the user.js component. And inside the user.js component, which is a function component, and I have added some JSX, which we don't want at the moment, but I will show you what it is later on. All right, and I'm also running my application on the development environment. So if we go here, then we will see that we have the localhost 3001, where we can see the output of our application. So let's go to the app.js. And if we go to the app.js, we see that we have added a console log of app components rendered. So if we go to our browser and we will see that if I refresh my page, then we will see that we have a console log of the app component rendered. Now, what I'm going to show you here is that if I click on this toggle message, then our message is going to change. So if I click on the toggle message, then it will get changed to the good afternoon. And now if we go in the console log, then we will see that the app component is re-rendering as the state is changed. So the number of times I click on the toggle, my app component is going to re-render. Now, so far everything is clear, but what I want to show you here is now if we go to the user count component, and now we are going to add this user count component into our app component. So let's go to the app component, and here I'm going to add the user count component. All right, so I have added the user count component and it's auto imported. So if we go to the browser, then we will see that now we have the regular component, which is coming from the user count component. And we see the message that we have fetched 10 users. So I'm going to clear the console and I'm going to refresh my page. So when I refresh my page, this time we actually see two console logs. The first console log is coming from the app component, which is the app component rendered. And the second one is the user count renders. And this is the default behavior of the React JS, which we are very familiar with it. As the state changes, the app component is getting rendered and our user count also gets rendered. Now, if I click on the toggle message again, then we will see that every time the app component is rendered, which is fine, but we will see that the user component is also getting rendered. But even though there is no change of the state or the props in our user count component. So if we go to the user count component, we see that the user count state is still 10. But how we can avoid this re-rendering of the user count component? So what we can do is we have to convert this regular component into a pure component. And before converting it, let's go and let's see the documentation of the React about the pure component. So if we go to the browser and we see that a React pure component is very similar to our React component. The only difference between the two is that the regular component doesn't implement should component update method. And the pure component, it actually implements the lifecycle method of should component update, which actually does a shallow comparison of the state and the props with its previous state and the prop. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to our components and we just have to change this to a pure component. So we are going to write pure component. All right. So now we have converted our regular component into a pure component. All right. Now, if we go back to our browser and if we see, then let me refresh my page and we are getting a bit of warning. So I can remove this. We don't want the component now. Now, if we go to our browser and if we refresh our browser, then we will see that the first time the app component is rendered and the user component is also rendered. But now if I click on the toggle message, even though the state is getting changed, we will see that only the app component is getting re-rendered because now we have converted our user count component to a pure component. And this component is only going to render if its state or the props gets changed. So if we want to see, then what we can do is we can actually create a button. So let me copy this and I'm going to add a button here. All right. And what I will do is I'm going to change this to increment. So let me add the increment. And here what I will do is I'm going to add a function name. So this dot increment user count. All right. Now let's add this function here. So I'm going to do as increment function count, which will be equals to an arrow function. All right. And what I will do is this dot set state. So this is going to give me the state and I'm going to just update the state. So my user count will be, so let me add the user count and this user count will be state dot user count plus one. All right. And we have made a mistake here. So I'm going to add this. All right. So we see an error. So we just have to add the brackets here and let's remove the semicolon. All right, so now if we see here and if I refresh my page and if I click on the toggle message, then we see the app component is only going to re-render and it will not render the user count because now user count is a part of the pure component. So let me change this to regular to a pure component here. All right. And this pure component is only going to re-render whenever the state or the prop is going to change. So if I now click on the increment, then you will see that the user count component renders. And if I click again, then it's going to render it again. So this is how the pure component actually helps, but how this pure component is actually working. So what happens is that this component have a lifecycle method of should component update. And it's actually by default have an implementation of this should component update, which actually takes a new props and it has a new state. And it actually do a shallow comparison of the props and the state with its previous state and the prop. So if I want to try it and let's do one thing, I'm going to change this to a regular component. So let me have the regular component. And here we are going to see that we have a new prop and the new state. And what I will do is that, so if this new state, so if this new state dot user count is not equal to this dot state dot user count, then in that case, what we want is we want it should return as true. So let me add return and we are going to return it true. And otherwise we want that it should return false. Let me add this equal to here. All right. So what we have done is now we have converted this back to a regular component and we are actually implementing by ourselves this should component update. And for this should component update, we are checking that the new state of the user count is actually equal to or not equal to the previous state. And based on that, we return true or false. So now if we go here and if we refresh our page, we see that app component renders and the user component also renders. Now, if I click on the toggle, then you will see that the app component is only rendering, but we haven't used any pure component now. Then how it is going? And that is because we have made an implementation of the should component update. But if you want to avoid writing this component implementation, then you can simply remove this. I will just comment this out and I will just going to convert this to a pure component. So let me add copy and do a pure component. All right. So now we understand the pure component. We understand that what is the difference between a pure component and a regular component, as the only difference is the implementation of a lifecycle method should component update. So what this shallow comparison is and how this pure component do a shallow comparison. So let's go to our browser and I'm going to go to the console and we are just going to understand about this shallow comparison. So this shallow comparison actually happens on primitive data type and the non-primitive data type. So for the primitive data type, if we see that, let's take a name as the page. So I'm going to write the page here. All right. And then I'm going to create another one, name one, which will also have the same value. And that will be the page. All right. Now, this is a primitive data type as the string, booleans, or the numbers. And now if I want to do a comparison, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a name triple equals to name one. And this is going to return us true because they both have the same value. So primitive data types are always compared by their values. But if you have a complex data type like the objects or the arrays, then this is not the case because these actually are compared by their references. So let's take an example of a complex data type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a let movie, and this movie is equals to the, so I'm going to have the equal, and then I'm going to add a name as the page. All right. And then I'm going to have an, oops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the page. All right. And now let's do a copy and I'm going to create one more object. All right. And now I'm just going to do a comparison of the movie equals to movie one, and it is going to return us false. Even though the object has the same key value pair, but still they have two different references in the memory. So this will only give me a true if I actually assign, let's assign a movie two and movie one. So now I'm assigning movie one to movie two. So now if I compare the movie one with movie two, then I'm going to get true. So let me add the movie true and then I'm going to get the true. So for this, we have to be careful that the pure components were introduced to enhance the performance, but it only works well with the primitive data type. And for the complex data type, sometimes it can give you a false positive. So now let's go back and we saw that this was the pure components. We saw the example of the state, but we can also see for the props as well. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and I'm just going to add a code snippet. So what I will do is I have a use effect. So let me add a use effect. And this use effect is actually fetching the data from the server. And then we are going to just add this data to a state variable. So I'm going to write a state variable as user and set users. All right. And these two will be equals to use state. So let me add the use state. All right. So let me add the use effect. So I'm going to add the use effect. And this time I'm going to use the user component. So what I will do is I'm just going to uncomment this out. All right. And in here, I'm going to add the user components. All right. And what I will do is I'm going to pass a prop. So let me add a user. I'm going to add the user prop. So let me add the users as well here. And I'm going to add the user props here as well. So let me add the users prop. All right. So I've added the user prop. If I go here, so now I don't want the state, so I can remove this. All right. And what I will do is I will go here and instead of this, I'm going to add here this or props dot users. So let me add the users dot length. All right. And for this one, what we want is I just need to have the props dot username. So let me remove these two and I'm going to add the props here. All right, so now we have added it, and now let's go and let's see. So if we see that we have a pure component, which is our user count component, and then we have another component, which is the user component, which is this one. So now if I go to the inspect element and if I go to the console, then we will see that when I do a refresh of it, then we have the app component rendered, user count rendered, app component rendered, and the user count rendered again. So I'm going to do a console log here. So let me add the console dot log, and I'm going to here add as user component rendered. All right. And let's go here. If I refresh everything, then we see app component, user component, and the users component render. Now, what we are trying to achieve here is if my props are not changing for a component, then my component should not get rendered. So for the user count, we have the prop, which is the users, and we are taking a length of the users. So in the app.js, if the users doesn't change, then I don't want to render my user count. So if I refresh my page and I see that here is the 6, and if I click on the toggle, then we see that the app component rendered and the user components rendered. And our user count component, it's still not getting rendered because the props have not changed. Now, what I want to show you is suppose you have a function component. So our users is a function component, and we don't want that the user component should get re-rendered until and unless the props or the state not change. But what we can do here is for the user component, we can actually convert this function component to a pure component like using the react.memo. So what we can do is I'm going to create a constant with a user memo, and this will be equals to the react.memo, and I'm going to pass my users here. So it's kind of a HOC, the higher order component. So if you don't know about the higher order component, then I have a video on it. You can click on the card above and jump to it directly. And I'm just going to export this one. All right. And now let's go to our app.js, and inside the app.js, I'm going to change this to a user memo. All right. And then I have to import it. And now if I go here and if I refresh it, then we should be able to see that now if I do a toggle, then we only see that only the app component is getting rendered and not our user component. For our user count component, we see that it is a pure component. It is only going to render whenever the state or the props changes. And the third one is the user component. For the user component, it is a function component, but we have actually used a React memo so that I can cache my component, and it is only going to render whenever the props or the state changes. So that's all I have in this video. I hope now you understand the pure component very well, but I want to warn you that you should not use pure components at every places. You should create your normal application. And then if you want to try to optimize your application performance, then you can see that which components are getting re-rendered where you don't want the re-render as the props or the states are not changing. Then those components, you can convert them to the pure component, because when it does a shallow comparison, it actually uses some memory. So I personally avoided using it in all the components. I first analyze the components and just check that which components I don't want to re-render again. So that's all I have in this video. I hope you like the video. A thumbs up is appreciated. You can also connect with me via Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter for latest updates. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.